South Africa set out a very cogent and legally compelling case, which was all the stronger because they didn't use atrocity photos. They made a point that they were making a legal case. They weren't doing shock, and they weren't doing theatre, and they weren't doing emotion. So they talked of thousands of dead children, but didn't show you photographs of dead children. They talked of the horrors of destroyed hospitals, of premature babies dying, of people starving. But they did it without visual imagery, and they did it in a very dry and factual recounting that actually had more emotional force for being delivered in a very dry and factual way, and set it out in a very legally compelling way. Israel went the other way. They just went October the 7th, beheaded babies, rape, terrible violence. They spoke as though history started on October the 7th. In fact, they said that specifically. They said, why talk of 75 years? Why talk of apartheid state? Why talk of occupation? This is only about a war that started on October the 7th. That was the Israeli point. The judges don't like this case at all. The judges are caught in a difficult place because everybody knows it's a genocide. It's plainly a genocide. But the judges don't want to say that because it will affect their chances of extremely highly paid sinecures after their term of office expires. And it will affect their standing with their home government. Plainly the result should be with South Africa. Plainly it is a genocide. They're desperate to find excuses to avoid saying that. And possibly these stupid procedural points about, oh well, letters were sent on the wrong date and thing, may give them an out. They looked very happy when those things were discussed and were taking copious notes. And then the rest of South Africa's points about how everything's a fault of Hamas atrocities. They said that the homes damaged in Gaza were either Hamas misfires or Hamas booby traps, and that Hamas was firing missiles from hospitals. That every single hospital in Gaza was a Hamas military base. They actually said that in terms. They don't expect anyone to believe that. They don't expect the court to believe that. That's simply propaganda. What Israel's trying to win on are those procedural nitpicking points. And the danger is the judges will take that as a cop-out. Anything that involves state and governments in this modern world, it's hard to have faith in. It's hard to have faith in. But I'm still hopeful. I remain hopeful South Africa will win because simply the case was so compelling. It's the International Court of Justice which is on trial because it's very plainly a genocide. And if the International Court of Justice says anything else, it means there is no working international law anymore, but it's been totally undermined and destroyed by the NATO countries. So that's a real test here. Does international law exist or does it not exist?